This is my presentation on the problems with lionfish removal in the Western Atlantic, presented for English 2500. First, the problem. There is estimated to be over 50 million lionfish in the Western Atlantic. This is mainly split between two main species, the common lionfish and the red lionfish. Despite massive efforts by people, there's been minimal effect on their population. What are lionfish? Lionfish are a species of marine ray-finned fish native to the Western Pacific. They are cream-colored with red to reddish-brown vertical stripes. They have a large mouth and venomous spines along their back, which make them very difficult to be preyed upon. Why is removal difficult? Lionfish live from New York to Brazil. They can live in depths as deep as 300 meters, and they can live in low salinity environments. Along with this, they have an incredibly fast reproduction speed, allowing them to spread rapidly. They have low predation, and they can easily outcompete native fish. One of the most effective removal methods for lionfish has been spearfishing. A spearfisher can get 10 to 50 fish per day. However, one person can only do so much. So, another effective removal method is derbies. This gets several spearfishers in the water, averaging around 1,500 lionfish removed in a single event. These are usually community driven, and they can inform the public. Another effective removal method has been organizations. Organizations such as Reef and NOAA help inform the public, get everyday people involved, and host yearly derbies and events. As well as NOAA started the Lionfish as Food campaign, which saw a massive success and got lionfish on plates in restaurants. However, there are some problems. One of the main problems with spearfishing is the cost. Boats, fuel, and gear all cost money, and lionfish really don't make you much that profit. It has minimal effects. Like I said, it's only one diver in the water. There's not really much they can do for such a large-scale invasion, and they have limited range. They're not able to go into deep. Spearfishers aren't able to go into deep water trenches and hunt lionfish, nor are they able to go in mangrove swamps and hunt them there either. There's a lot of areas that spearfishers just aren't able to hunt. Another problem is with the derbies. Derbies are usually only hosted once or twice per year. They are usually only a 2-day event over the summer, and this gives a lot of time for lionfish to repopulate. Another problem is organizations. Organizations always have a broad focus. Reef has their massive database. They focus a lot more on outreach and getting the public involved and informing the public, and they have a lot of the issues similar to derbies. There are also many ineffective removal methods. One of those ineffective removal methods has been sharks. At first, this idea had a lot of merits. Divers would go down, hunt lionfish, and feed them to sharks and other lion-capable species. However, instead of teaching these sharks and groupers to go hunt lionfish on their own, instead it taught them to associate the divers with food. These sharks became aggressive and would seek out divers for food. That is why this zookeeper was invented, A, to keep the lionfish from poking the divers when they're hunting them, and B, to keep the sharks from, sensing the hunted lionfish and attacking the bag. Another ineffective removal method has been traps. These traps create an artificial reef structure which lures in lionfish. However, these traps do have some downsides. The trap fails to deploy 32% of the time and needs a diver to go down and replace it, which kind of removes the point of setting traps. 56% of lionfish can escape the trap, and the traps overall have a 12 to 24% efficacy rate. As you can see from this graph, a majority of the lionfish observed in the trap escaped, with just under half being actually caught, and a lot of that portion being native fish, which are the fish we are trying to protect by capturing these lionfish. Another ineffective removal method has been ROVs, remote operated vehicles. These vehicles were text answered to deep water lionfish. These submersibles would dive down they would shock the lionfish with these paddles and capture them in this containment unit here. However, these vehicles were not really all that effective. As you can see here, they have a very limited capacity with this tube only being able to hold on average 1 to 2 lionfish. These vehicles also had terrible detection rates. Their cameras were really bad at spotting lionfish in natural reef structures, much less so than divers were. One of the problems with removal of lionfish has been their population growth. One female lionfish can produce up to 2 million eggs per year. They have spawning events roughly every 4 days year round, and these spawning events can spawn 15 to 30,000 lionfish eggs at a time. These eggs and larvae aren't usually preyed upon due to the toxins in them, making them unattractive to any fish. And these baby lionfish mature to an adult in just a year. As you can see here, egg masses are spawned. These things float on ocean currents. They become these larvae, which are dispersed out. These juveniles here are still venomous and are usually not preyed upon. And then they become a full-grown lionfish, easily able to dominate any reef they inhabit. Another problem with lionfish removal is the scale. As I said before, lionfish range from New York to Brazil. They inhabit deep waters and brackish shallows, and currents carry their eggs quickly to new habitats, which makes the problem massive. One of the people researching lionfish has been Dr. Stephanie Green. Her paper showed that lionfish show high sight fidelity, which means that once an adult lionfish has picked its reef, it will stay there for the rest of its life. This is why she argues for functional eradication, where through regular cullings 3 to 4 times per year, divers would go down and clear entire reefs, hopefully preventing the lionfish from causing major damage. However, there are a lot of downsides. One is that any surviving lionfish can quickly repopulate. As I said, 15 to 30,000 eggs per spawning event makes it very easily for them to just boom back to their previous pre-culled numbers. As well as offshore and non-targeted areas can send egg masses on ocean currents and reinvest already cleared reefs. Another problem is it is expensive and unending. This is 3 to 4 cullings per year, and you have to pay divers to go out there and manually clear out entire reefs. So it's just not economically viable, as well as it removes any economic incentives that could help with the culling. By keeping lionfish at functionally eradicated, their populations aren't high enough for spearfishers to go after them, nor for any major industries to move in and start hunting these lionfish more efficiently. So what is the main problem with lionfish? One of the main problems is honesty towards their removal. When doing outreach, it is very important to be honest. It helps accurately inform the public. It builds trust with them. A solution can be found to this problem. It's just not going to be through the methods we've already seen. What does this all mean? Since 1985, lionfish have not stopped growing in population and in range. Efforts by people on all angles have been thwarted, and it is reasonable to say that lionfish will never be removed. I want to thank you for watching. These are some of my cited sources. NOAA has a lot of helpful and useful articles, as well as Dr. Stephanie Green. Her research is really well done, and I really appreciated and enjoyed reading into it. Harris Holden has done a lot of research as well. You have these people up here on site fidelity, Morris James, more NOAA. The lionfish, the Invasive Lionfish Control Ad-Hoc Committee released an 84-page document, which was incredibly useful for my research. That was where I jumped off from, and I was able to get a lot from that, and it is still massively quoted today. The Reef Organization, they do a lot of good community outreach, and they have a lot of very good, community projects like their moon grouper sort of, project, but as well as the U.S. government website had a very helpful species profile on lionfish. So yeah,